Welcome to War Thunder. This is Old Dead Man. Today I have something unusual for you. I was going through the custom missions that were on my computer and I found one from some time back. This was the brainchild of Mach 15 and the technical wizardry of none other than fordwins. They had run a bit of a competition at the time for doing a speed run through this course, and believe me, it's a rough fly, as you can see from the crashes at the start there. Now this is new footage. This is not the original footage I submitted for the actual event itself, but it was a bit of a bear to try and get this back together again because I'd forgotten all the turns and the wiggles and the jiggles. This turn right here was a bit of a bear, but I didn't hit it. I always managed to blow it on the next two. That one, and I stuffed it into the water in this particular turn right here. A lot of this is about controlling your throttle and your flaps and memorization. You have to remember exactly what you're doing at all points. Several of these turns are really sporting, and I really baked my engine at this first start here, getting the speed in the areas where I was less likely to stuff it in the water. This turn faked me out several times because it looks very similar to one that it happens a little bit later. It turns out that the second one is much tougher to actually overcome, but this one was just faked me out enough times I slowed down on it. As I recall, the terms of the challenge were: stay in the riverbed, this airplane, and follow the points. Now the very end of it is more of a straight line above the river, so you'll see what that section is, but it takes a while to get to that point. Another fake out turn for the bad one. If you take a look in the bottom right corner, you'll see the map. That's what's coming up, that hairpin turn right there. So right now I'm pulling the throttle back, I'm putting flaps in, takeoff flaps I think was enough, because this turn here gets hairy. As the plane slows down, it becomes harder to control. And these two turns, I can't tell you the number of times I just plain missed those turns. I managed to miss one or the other. But this time, managed to pull it back in. By the way, if you pull your flaps out too early, you will put it in the water. I found that out the hard way several times too. These pylons, I hate these pylons. I want the pylons to die. But at this point in time, it's actually relatively straight. I'm having to just watch my engine temps because I am cooking that engine pretty hard. Sticking this turn is always was a challenge a few times. Found those pylons to be, shall we say, exceedingly well placed. Down to 81% throttle just to keep my engine from baking itself. Now I'm back up to full throttle again. little hairpin turns become a problem, as well as my good friends, the pylons. The intro to this video was a lot of stuffing it into those pylons. This one nearly bit it on this one, but I managed to pull it around. This is where we go out of the riverbed, and this turn always catches me off guard. For a moment I thought maybe I could save the engine, and then I realized at this point I'm cooking it no matter what, so I put the WEP in and held it in. I started to mess with the manual engine control, but when I hit that I knew I'd just break the engine outright, so I flipped back to auto. If I were to redo it again, I might mess with the manual engine control some more. If you can hear those sounds, that's the engine deciding it doesn't like to be a take and bake pizza. It's not happy with me. And another fake out turn because you can't see the circle, it's stuck in some trees. Last one to go. Still have the WEP in full. I figured if I blew the engine at this point, I could glide all the way to the finish. There it is, 7 minutes, 13.419 seconds. It is not an easy run.